How's it going, guys? Chips here with you again, back with another Ark Let's Build video, and in today's video we're going to be building this Stryder pen that you see in front of you now. For those of you that are new to the channel, this is going to be a step-by-step walkthrough video with voiced over instructions so you can get this build on your Ark. And for a full list of building materials you will need for this build, as well as the map coords where I built this, make sure you check out the description below. But anyways guys, with all of that said, I just want to tell you thank you so much for being here today, checking out this video, and let's go ahead and let's get to building. Alright, so first we're going to be placing our foundation. So as you can see, I've already placed a large portion of the foundation. So for this is 14 across by 16 deep stone foundations. So we're going to start off here on what is going to be our front side, where we have the 14 going across. We're going to come to the left corner and place a stone foundation in front of the one we have, and then place a metal foundation. Now we're going to skip 3 spots, go to this 4th spot and place 1 more stone, followed by 2 more metal. We'll now skip 4 spots and come to the 5th spot right here and do the same thing. And then again on the corner, we're going to go ahead and place 1 more stone and 1 more metal. Now we're going to head to the back side of our build. And again here on the corner, we'll place 1 stone and 1 metal. We're now going to skip the next 2 spots, and on this 3rd spot we're going to start off right here and place 3 rows of 8 stone foundations. Now starting off on one of the corners of this section, we're going to go ahead and place 2 more metal foundations. Do this on the other side as well. Then we will count 2 foundation spaces in and go to the 3rd one and place 2 more metal foundations in these next 2 spots. And now finally come back over here to our corner on this side, place 1 more stone and 1 more metal. And so now this will make up the foundation for our build. We can zoom out here and get the whole thing. So just go ahead and switch all of these stone and all of these metal foundations to block. Next, we're going to start placing our pillars. Starting off on the front side of our build, we're going to head to this left corner where we have this stone foundation, and we're going to place a wooden fence foundation on each of the outside and inside sides of this. So just like that. Now on all 4 corners, we're going to go ahead and add 11 high metal pillars. Now that we have this one done, we're going to head over to our other corner here on the right side and do the same thing on this stone foundation right here. Now that we have those 2 done, we're going to go ahead and do these middle 2 right here. Starting off on this one, we will again place a wooden fence foundation on the 2 sides. Then on the side that is closest to the outside of our build, we are again going to place 11 high metal pillars on these 2 spots. Then on the inside here, we are going to go ahead and place 10 high metal pillars on these 2 spots. And we are just going to duplicate what we just did right there on this spot right here, just obviously flipping it around. Alright, now continuing with the pillars now on the back side of the build. As you can see, I've gone ahead off camera and done a little bit to save us some time. So again, on the 2 corner stone foundations that stand off, you're simply going to place a wooden fence foundation on the 2 sides and then add 11 metal pillars to all 4 corners, as you can see I have already done. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go in here where we have these 3 foundations sticking out. And on this inside right here, we're going to go ahead and place a wooden fence foundation just like this. And then on the inside corner here, we're going to add 5 high metal pillars. We're now going to go ahead and place another wooden fence foundation on this stone foundation and do the same thing on this corner right here. Now we're going to go ahead to the other side and just duplicate what we just did. Now continuing on the back side, we're going to come in here where we have these stone foundations in the middle, and we're going to place down a stone stair in front of all 4 of these. Then we'll head back over here, and on this first stone foundation we'll place a wooden fence foundation, and then we're going to snap a metal dinosaur gateway to that, and just go ahead and duplicate that right here. Now we're going to go ahead and build up our 4 columns on our corners. So we're going to start off here on the front left on this outside of our foundation here. We're going to place a stone wall. We'll do that again right here on the front between the stone and the metal, and again right here. And we're going to leave this space right here open. So now we're going to go ahead and add 10 more stone walls on top of each of these ones we just placed to get them all to 11 high total, which will be just above our metal pillars. So it should now look like this. So now we're just going to do that on the other 3 corners as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and again do this off camera just to save us a little bit of time, and I'll bring you guys back and show you what it looks like. Alright, so as you can see, we've built up all 4 columns, again leaving the side that is on the inside of our build open. Next, we're going to build up the 2 middle columns on the front side. So the first thing we're going to do is come in here to the side and place a stone wall. We'll do that again on the front and again on this side. And again, we're going to leave that back side open. Now we're going to go ahead and add 9 more on top of these to get it to 10 high total. And now on this outside portion right here, we're going to go ahead and place a metal wall. And we'll also do that right here on the front. And we're going to leave this side right here alone. So go ahead and duplicate that for this column right here. Now we're going to go ahead inside between these 2 columns to these stone foundations, and we're going to start off by placing 4 high greenhouse walls on each one of these. Then we'll add 1 stone wall on top of each of them, followed by 3 more greenhouse on top of each, and finish it off with 3 high metal walls on top of each of those. Now we're just going to go ahead over to our other gap between our 2 columns over here and do the exact same thing right here. Next, we're going to add the little balconies on the front. So we're going to come in here where we have the stone walls, and we're going to place a metal ceiling just below them. Then we'll add a stone wall on the edge of each of those ceilings, and then just place more metal ceilings on top of those stone walls. So just like that. Now go ahead and duplicate that over here on the right side. Now we're going to go ahead and add some stone stairs on the front of the build. So first we're going to place 3 here in front of our windows. We'll place 4 in the center right here. And then we'll place 3 more in front of these windows right here. Next, we're going to build up the legs on the front of the build. So we're going to start off here on the left corner by placing 3 high metal walls here on the left side of this metal foundation, followed by the appropriate sloped metal wall. We'll add 3 high metal walls here on the front, and 3 high metal walls here on the other side with the appropriate sloped metal wall on top. Then we're going to go ahead and place a metal stair coming down from this stone wall, and go ahead in and switch that metal stair to ramp. We're going to go ahead and duplicate this on our right corner over here. Now for the middle two sections, we're going to start off on the one closest to the stone by again placing 3 high metal walls on this side, followed by the appropriate sloped metal wall. Then we will place 2 high metal walls right here, followed by the appropriate sloped metal wall. We'll place 2 high metal walls on the front, 2 high right here with the appropriate sloped on top, and then 3 high again right here with the appropriate sloped wall on top. Then we'll go ahead and drop 2 metal stairs down, and again we will switch both of those to ramp. And then again, just go ahead and duplicate that right here. Next, we're going to come back into one of our sides here where we have the greenhouse walls down on the bottom, and we're going to place a thatch ceiling in front of each of these greenhouse walls. Then we're going to go ahead and get out a metal double door frame, and we are going to rotate the snap point using whichever key or button is appropriate for your system so that you get this bright green snap point. Go ahead and place that down. Go ahead and add 3 more on top of that one, again making sure you're rotating the snap point until you get the green side. And then go ahead and do this on the other 2 spots as well. Then you can go ahead and pick up or destroy these thatch ceilings. Now we're going to head up to our second level of greenhouse walls up here, and we're just going to do the exact same thing up here, only adding 3 of them instead of 4. So now that you have this side done, just go ahead and duplicate this over here on the right side. Now we're going to go ahead and start adding the walls on the back side of our build. So first, here on the left side on the back between this column and this pillar, we're going to go ahead and place 4 high greenhouse walls on each of these 2 foundations. We will then place 1 metal wall on top of each of these. Go ahead and place 4 more greenhouse walls on each. And then go ahead and add 2 more metal walls on top of those. Go ahead to the right side here on the back and just duplicate that right here on the right. Next, we'll build up this middle portion. So we'll start off here on this left side by placing 4 high stone walls on each of these foundations. Then you can go ahead and add a metal wall on top of each of those. In this next spot right here, we'll add 4 high stone walls again, followed by a metal wall and the appropriate sloped metal wall. Right here in the middle, we will again place 4 high stone walls on each of these 2 spots, followed by 2 high metal walls. Right here, we will again place the 4 high stone walls, followed by the metal wall and the appropriate sloped metal wall. And then again here on this side, we'll place 4 high stone in each spot, followed by 1 metal in each spot. Now we're going to go ahead in above where we have the metal walls in the center, and we're going to place a metal ceiling attached to each of these. We're then going to add 2 more going into our build on each one. And now we're just going to go ahead and fill in this space over top of where our gateway comes in, leaving the portion that is sloped open on each side. Now once you have those metal ceilings placed, you can go ahead and drop 2 metal walls down from each of these spots where we have the opening above the gate. Alright, now we're going to head back in here on top of these metal ceilings, and we're going to go ahead to the back of them and hang a thatch ceiling out from each one. Go ahead and add one more right here to the side and do that again over here on the other side. Now in these first two spots, we're going to go ahead and place 5 high metal walls. And you're going to want to make sure you have this green side of the wall facing you so that it's placing on the thatch ceiling. We're also going to go ahead and drop one more down right here. Go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other two on this side. Now on the middle 4, we're going to go ahead and get out a greenhouse wall, and we're going to first place that 3 high and then add 2 metal walls on top of that and do that on the other 3 spots. And now it's very important that you leave those thatch ceilings for now, as they are providing temporary support for some of our walls. Now we're going to head back in here, and we're going to go ahead and fill in right here where we have the sloped walls with sloped metal roofs going across. Go ahead and do this on the other side as well. And now once you have these placed, you can actually go ahead and pick up or destroy those thatch ceilings, as these sloped metal roofs will now provide the support for our walls. Now we're going to create our balconies on the back, so we're first going to head in here above our greenhouse walls and place a metal ceiling above each one of these. Go ahead and then place a stone wall on each of those ceilings, and then go ahead and add a metal ceiling on top of each of those stone walls. Just go ahead to the other side and do the same thing over here. Now we're going to create the overhang at the very top of our back side. So we're going to go in here one wall down from the very top, and we're going to place a line of metal ceilings going across the back side of the build, connecting column to column. Go ahead then and add a stone wall on each one of these. And then you can go ahead and fill in here on the very top with metal ceilings, and you can also go ahead and fill in here above the columns. Now here in front of our greenhouse walls, we're going to go ahead and add a stone stair in front of each of these foundations. Go ahead and do that on the other side as well. And then we are also going to go ahead and fill in here with our dinosaur gateways with a reinforced dinosaur gate on each one. Now we're going to go ahead and build the backside legs. Starting off with this one on the left corner, we're going to add 3 high metal walls on the remaining 3 sides of this foundation. Then go ahead and add your appropriate sloped metal wall on the 2 sides. And go ahead and fill this in with a metal stair. Here on this next spot, we're going to start off with 3 high metal walls on this side, then 2 high right here, 2 high on the front, 2 high right here, and 3 high right here. And then again, go ahead and add the appropriate sloped metal walls on each of the side spots. And go ahead and again, fill this in with 2 metal stairs. Now here in the middle, we're going to add 2 high metal walls going all the way around these 2 foundations. And again, add your appropriate sloped metal wall on each side, followed by your metal stairs to fill it in. Again, right here, we'll start off with 3 high metal walls, followed by 2 high here on the front, 2 high here on this spot, and 3 high here on this spot. And then the appropriate sloped metal walls on the sides. And again, fill it in with 2 metal stairs. And then here on this last spot, we will again go ahead and place 3 high metal walls on the remaining 3 sides. The sloped metal wall on each side. And then fill it in with a metal stair. And then go ahead and switch this metal stair to ramp. So you'll see it'll look like that. And go ahead and do that to all of the other metal stairs that we have already placed. Now we're going to add some more detail here in front of our windows. So we're first going to come in here to the bottom and place a thatch ceiling in front of each of these greenhouse walls at the very bottom. Then get out a metal door frame, and we're going to rotate the snap point using whichever key or button is appropriate for your system so that you get this light blue snap point. Go ahead and do that again right here. And then go ahead and add 3 more on top of each of those, again making sure you're rotating through the snap point. And then once you have all of those placed, you can go ahead and pick up or destroy these thatch ceilings. We're now going to head up to the second level, and we're going to do the same thing right here. So get out your metal door frame, rotate the snap point and place it down. Do that again right here, and then add 3 more on top of each of those. Then you can go ahead over to our right side and duplicate this over here. Now that you have all of those placed, we're going to go to the middle of our build right here where we have this greenhouse, and we're going to go ahead and get out metal double door frames, and we are again going to rotate the snap point using whichever key or button is appropriate for your system. However, this time you'll be looking for that green snap point. Go ahead and place one of these in front of each of these bottom ones, and then go ahead and add 2 more on top of each of those. So it should look like this. Alright, now the last thing we're going to do here on the back side is add a little bit more detail using stone railings. So we're first going to come in below where we have these metal ceilings. We're going to get out a stone railing, and you'll see it should just kind of float here below the ceiling. So go ahead and place a line of these going across. So just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and line this metal ceiling here. So we'll place 3 on the side. We'll place them all the way across the front. And then 3 more on this side. Now we're going to come down to where we have where the metal and the stone walls meet like this. We're going to place a thatch ceiling here on each of these and get out your stone railing, and we are again going to rotate the snap point using whichever key or button is appropriate for your system so that you get that light blue snap point, and go ahead and place it. Go ahead and do that again right here, and then destroy these thatch ceilings. Now we're going to go ahead and do this all the way across the front on that same layer, so right here. And then we will also go over here to this other side and do it again right here where the stone and the metal meets. And then once you have those ones placed, again, just go ahead and pick up or destroy those thatch ceilings. Alright, so next we're going to start building up the 2 sides of our build. Now both sides are actually going to be exactly the same, so what I'm going to do is show you step by step how to do one side, but as we go I'm going to be duplicating the other side off camera just to save us a little bit of time. So basically what we'll do is I'll show you how to do this first step for this side, you'll do it on this side, and then you'll also duplicate it on the other side before we move on to the next step. So I hope that all made sense. Let's go ahead and let's get started with this first portion. So we're going to go in here where we have this metal pillar on our side, and we're going to add another wooden fence foundation right here on this foundation. We'll add 1 metal pillar on this side of that wooden fence foundation. Then we're going to count 4 spots over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and go ahead and skip to the 5th spot right here. Go ahead and place another wooden fence foundation and add 1 metal pillar on each side of it. Go ahead and count 4 more spots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and again skip to the 5th spot, and again add the wooden fence foundation and 1 metal pillar on each side. Now we'll just go ahead over here to the end where we have this metal pillar, again place another wooden fence foundation right here and add 1 more metal pillar on the other side of it. Then we're going to go ahead and get out a metal wall, and we're just going to go ahead and add 1 metal wall on each one of these foundations. So there you have it. So now again, go ahead and duplicate this over on the other side before we move on. Now we're going to come back in where we have that metal pillar right here, and we're going to go ahead and get out a metal catwalk and place it right here on top, just like this. And go ahead and continue taking a line of these all the way across the top of these walls until we reach the pillar on the opposite side of the build. So stopping right here. Then go ahead and where we placed all of these pillars, go ahead and add 2 more pillars on top of each one. And then again, go ahead and duplicate this on the other side of our build. Now we're going to go back in between here where we have these 2 pillars, and we're going to go ahead and add 2 more metal walls on top of the one we already placed. We'll go over to the next spot where we have 2 pillars and do the same thing. Go ahead over to the next spot and do the same thing right here. And then go ahead over to this end and do the same thing between these 2 metal pillars. Now in our remaining spots, we're going to start off by placing a line of stone railings going all the way across. Then we'll go ahead and add 2 lines of metal railings on top of those. And then go ahead and add another line of stone railings on top of those metal. And again, just like before, go ahead and duplicate this on the other side of the build. Alright, now we're going to come back in here to this pillar, and again we're going to place a metal catwalk on top of it just like this. And continue taking a line of these across until you reach the pillar on the opposite side. Just like this. And now anywhere that we have these pillars, you can go ahead and now add 7 more metal pillars on top of each of these. And then again, just go ahead to the other side and duplicate this over there. Now here between these first 2 pillars, we're going to go ahead and add 7 more metal walls. In this next spot right here, we're going to go ahead and first add 2 metal walls, followed by a metal door frame, filled in with a reinforced door, and then 4 more metal walls on top of that. We'll go ahead and do the same thing in the very next spot. And then again in this last spot, we're just going to go ahead and add 7 metal walls. And again, just go ahead and duplicate this on the other side of the build. Alright, now we're going to start building up the inside portion of the build. So the first thing we're going to do is come in here to one of these spots where we have the door on this side. And we're going to go ahead and place 5 metal ceilings coming out just below that door. So just like this. Now we're going to go 1 spot down and do the same thing right here. And then just go ahead and fill in between those 2 sets of ceilings with stone walls. So it should now look like this. So now you can just go ahead and duplicate the process we just did on these other 3 spots where we have those doors. Alright, so now that we have all of those placed, the next thing we're going to do is come down to the ground below one of these sections that we just did. And right in line with the edge there, we're going to go ahead and get out a metal ladder. And you may need to rotate the snap point using whichever key or button is appropriate for your system. But you want to get this green snap point right here. Go ahead and place that down. Go ahead and add 4 more on top of it, making sure that you're getting them on top of the one below. When you get up here around this ceiling, you want to make sure you're getting that front snap point like this. And also make sure you're getting that same snap point in front of that stone wall. Now you can go ahead up top here and we're going to place a metal fence foundation right here on the edge. And then we're going to go ahead and drop a metal pillar on each side of that. Now we're going to go ahead here to the door and we are going to count 2 lines in. So 1, 2 is right here. Go ahead and place another metal fence foundation. Again, go ahead and add a pillar on each side of it. And now for all 4 of these pillars, we're just going to go ahead and continue adding pillars below them until we reach down into the ground. And so there you go. Now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead to the other 3 portions that we've built up and do the same thing we did right here on all 3 of those. Alright, so as you can see, I have again duplicated that on the other 3. So now we're going to go ahead and continue. We're going to head in here again to one of our sides. And here on the side of these 3 ceilings, we're going to add a metal railing on each one. And go ahead and do that on the other side as well. And leave these last 2 here open. Go ahead and duplicate this on the other 3. Now that we have those placed, we're going to go ahead down below it here, and we're going to go to the second high wall. So 1 high, 2 high right here, and get out a metal catwalk and place 1 down, and then attach 4 more going out from that one, so that it brings us right here to the edge of our ladder. Go ahead and do that on the other 3 as well. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and start building up our outside walkway. So we're going to start off here on the outside in front of one of our reinforced doors. We're going to go 1 wall down from it and place a metal ceiling right here. Go ahead and add 1 more out from that. Now on the left side, go ahead and add 5 more. And then add 1 more to connect us to this metal. Go ahead back over here and add 5 more to the right side of it. And 1 more to connect us to the metal. And then go ahead and do that 1 more time. Now we're going to go ahead 1 wall height up and just do the exact same thing all the way across. And now you can go ahead again to the other side of the build and duplicate what we just did on the outside over there. Alright, now we're going to continue by coming in line with our metal walls here. And right here on the edge of this metal ceiling, we're going to go ahead and add a metal fence foundation like this. Go ahead and place a metal pillar on each side of that. Now we're going to come in line here with our door and do the same thing on this metal ceiling. Do it again here in line with this door. And then 1 more time in line here with this metal wall. And now we're going to go ahead and drop metal pillars down from all of these pillars to get them all into the ground. So it should now look like this. So again, just go ahead and repeat this step on the other side of the build. Alright, continuing on our outside walkway, we're now going to work on the inside portion right here. So we're going to go ahead and get out a metal fence foundation and place 1 on the middle 2 ceilings. So 1 right here and 1 right here. Then go ahead and place a metal pillar here on this edge and also on the other edge right here. So it should look like this. Go ahead to the next bay over and do the exact same thing right here. And then go ahead to the other next bay and do the exact same thing right here. Then you can just go ahead to the other side of the build and duplicate it over here. Alright, now to finish off these outside walkways, the first thing we're going to do is come in here in between where we have the 2 metal ceilings. And starting off on the outside ledge, we're going to go ahead and take stone walls all the way around this. Now we're going to go ahead inside one of our bays here, and we're going to surround this inside with stone walls as well. And go ahead and do that on the other 2. Now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead back up top here and we're going to get out our metal railings. Starting off here on the side, we're going to go ahead and place 2 right here. We'll go ahead and place them all the way across this front. Go ahead and place 2 more here on this side. On the inside lip, we're going to place 1 right here as well as 1 right here. We're going to leave these middle 2 spots open. Place 1 more on each of these 2 sides right here, as well as these right here. Again, leave the middle spot open and place them right here in this L, as well as this L right here. Again, leave the middle open, and then finish it off by placing 2 more right here. So now again, just go ahead to the other side of the build and copy this step over there. Alright, now we're going to start working on the roof for our build. So starting off here on the side, right here where we have this pillar, we're going to go ahead and get out a metal catwalk and place it on top of it like this. and then just go ahead and take a line of metal catwalks all the way to the back of the build, stopping right here. Now we're going to go ahead right here where we have this metal ceiling and connect another metal ceiling to it, and we're going to continue taking these all the way back across to the front of the build. And go ahead and also place one here on top of our column. Now you may need to rotate the snap point using whichever key or button is appropriate for your system so that it places in the same direction as the other ones we placed. Once you have that there, go ahead here where we have these gaps on the metal ceilings and drop a stone wall down from each of these. So there you have it. Now you can just go ahead, like we've been doing, go to the other side of the build and repeat this step on the other side. Alright, now back here on the front of our build, above these metal walls, we're going to go in here, and on this first spot right here, we're going to place the appropriate sloped metal wall, just like this. Go ahead and add a metal wall and another sloped metal wall right here. And then 2 more metal walls right here. Let's go to the other side now. We'll start off with the appropriate sloped metal wall right here. Another metal wall and sloped metal wall right here, and 2 more metal walls right here. Now we're going to head to the back side of our build. Starting off here in the corner, we will again place the appropriate sloped metal wall, followed by a metal wall and a sloped metal wall. Then we are going to place 8 more 2-high metal walls. Right here we'll place 1 more metal wall and the appropriate sloped metal wall. And then right here we'll finish it off with the appropriate sloped metal wall. Alright, now up top here, starting off on the back side of our build, we're going to go ahead and get out a sloped metal roof, and we're going to add 2 of them going up right here. Then we're going to go ahead and add 2 sloped greenhouse roofs right here. And we're going to do this 3 more times. We're going to go ahead and add 2 more sloped metal roofs right here. Go ahead and add 4 more sloped greenhouse roofs. 2 more sloped metal roofs going up right here. Another set of 4 sloped greenhouse roofs. And then 2 more sloped metal roofs here on the front. Now when you go to place this, as you can see, there are 2 snap points, one on the inside of the sloped metal wall and one on the outside. We want the one that's on the inside like this. Go ahead and place 1 more right here, again making sure it's on the inside. And now we're going to head to the other side of our build, and we're just going to duplicate this over here. We're going to make sure we start off on the back side of the build again. Now that we have those sloped roofs done, we're going to start off again at the back side of our build. Here where we have the walls coming up, we're going to go ahead and take a line of metal ceilings going across this wall. Now we're going to go ahead and place 4 greenhouse ceilings right here. Go ahead and do this 2 more times. Now we're going to go ahead and add a line of 3 metal ceilings right here. Go ahead and again place your 3 lines of 4 greenhouse ceilings. Again, go ahead and place your line of 3 metal ceilings. And then again, go ahead and place your 4 lines of 3 greenhouse. And then go ahead and finish it off here with another line of 3 metal. So it should now look like this. Go ahead over here to the other side of the build and do the same thing over here. And now we're just going to go ahead and fill in this middle portion from front to back with metal ceilings. Alright, so now we're going to finish off the front side of our build. So the first thing we're going to do is come in here where we have this gap, and we're going to go in and drop 3 metal walls down from each of these ceilings. Now we're going to go ahead and place a metal ceiling right here, and we're going to take a line of those across until we connect with the other side. Now here on this first spot right here, we're going to place the appropriate sloped metal wall. We'll place a metal wall going across the top of the gap here, and then place the other appropriate sloped metal wall right here. Go ahead and then also drop a metal wall down from each of these metal walls. Then we're going to go ahead and add a metal ceiling going across the top right here. And then finally, right here on each side, go ahead and place a metal stair and switch that to ramp. And go ahead and again do it here on the other side. Alright, now to finish off the front, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more detail. So we're first going to head in here where this stone and metal walls meet, and we're going to line this level with thatch ceilings. Now we're going to go ahead and get out a stone railing, and we're going to rotate the snap point using whichever key or button is appropriate for your system, so that you get this light blue snap point right here. Go ahead and do this all the way around. Then you can go ahead and pick up or destroy all of those thatch ceilings. Now we're going to go ahead up top right here, and we're going to make a line of stone railings going around this rim. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and get out a metal catwalk, and we're just going to connect this ceiling right here over to this wall or sloped roof over here. And do the same thing over here on this side. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for the building portion of this video. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring in all of our Stryders, bring in some other stuff, and I might do a quick little paint scheme. So guys, if you want to see what it all looks like when it's all in here complete, stick around for one more second and I will show you what I come up with. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have brought all of our Stryders in. Now for the paint scheme, I didn't really do much at all in this build. I started to paint it and I just kind of like the normal, just plain metal and plain stone better for something this big. I did, however, paint the greenhouse with the black color. We'll go ahead inside so I can show you what it looks like here on the inside. As you can see, we've brought all of our tech Stryders in, like I said, and the idea for this build was something like Star Wars, maybe like a hangar where they would work on the AT-ATs. This would be kind of the same thing where you have them in here, you have your access to get up on the sides of them. You have a door to lead you outside where you can get up underneath the neck and work on them out here. Just all kinds of, different like walkways you can access these things to work on them. Which is also why I put these tech lights up above them. We've got the green ones showing that these Stryders are good to go. They have been repaired and they're ready to be used. And then I've put the red ones back here to show that these ones are still being worked on. Just a little bit of a cosmetic thing to kind of make it look a little cooler. I've also brought in some dedicated storage and just packed it in here on the front. So you have probably enough dedicated storage, I would say, for everything that you could possibly gather that you can then transfer straight from your tech Stryder into those dedicated storage. And then here on these back two rows, we brought in some vaults for anything that you wouldn't want to put in the dedicated storage. I've also got a forge right here with access to it from that back door in case you need it. And then also some dedicated storage next to it that you can put or transfer all of the things that you would use in the forge so you don't have to walk them back and forth. And then we've also got our exomech right here to act as our tech replicator. And obviously you can move that around and it takes up less space, so it's much more convenient than an actual tech replicator. We'll go ahead outside and just show you the back real quick. I've also painted the greenhouse on the back with the black, as well as the door frames that are surrounding the greenhouse. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the build, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it was easy for you to follow along and get this build on your arc. Guys, if you did enjoy the build in the video and you haven't already, do me a favor and hit that like button. Leave me some feedback in the comments below on what you think. And guys, if you're new to the channel, go check out some other builds, and if you like what you see, subscribe for future Arc Let's Build videos. Also guys, make sure to check out the description below for a link to my Twitter, where you can stay up to date with me, as well as my Discord, where you can come hang out with me and all of my friends. But anyways guys, with all of that said, I just want to tell you thank you so much for being here today, checking out this video, and have a great day.